debate about achieving net zero and sustainability is really growing, and here in Paris, well, it's very much a hot topic. And to tell us more from Reaction Engines, I have their Applied Technologies Director, Tom Burvill. First of all, it's great to see you here in Paris. Why have you come the little short hop from the UK?
Great. Well, yeah, it's great to be here. I mean, there's so much going on here at the moment, and clearly net zero, sustainability is a huge theme. We're really here because we believe we've got technology. Well, we know we have technology that can have a really big impact in this area. So we're here. We're talking to some of our customers, some of our potential customers and suppliers, and just building up that ecosystem as we're all going to have to pull together to meet some of these net zero goals.
Collaboration is certainly a word we'll come to in just a few moments. But for those who don't know about Reaction Engines, like a short potted history.
Yeah, sure. So Reaction Engines is a 30-year-old company. Most of that time has been developing the SABRE engine that some people may be familiar with. It's the synergetic air-breathing rocket engine. Part of that development program was really developing the heat management technologies to enable the cooling of the 1,000-degree inlet air at high speeds. And that cooling technology, we're now finding really good fits within adjacent markets across transport markets, but also particularly aviation and things like fuel cell powered aviation.
When we talk about sustainability, net zero, jet zero, things like this, we're talking about true net zero, aren't we? And cooling is something that hadn't really occurred to me, but thankfully there's you guys at the forefront of it. How much of a challenge is cooling when it comes down to sustainability?
So yeah, so true zero emission powertrains really can have a big impact in terms of the cooling performance on the platform. So because there's so many components that need to be cooled to a much lower temperature to conventional gas turbines, for example, the delta T to the cooling air is much lower, so you need much more effective heat exchangers. The amount of heat is also higher, so in a fuel cell system, 50% of the power goes out as heat, and that's got to be actively rejected into the RAM airstream. So yeah, it's a big challenge for zero emission powertrains.
So what have Reaction Engines done? Like, how have you gone about, tackling this pretty tricky task?
So we've got this technology from the SABRE program that's essentially designed for very low pressure drop, very high effectiveness heat transfer. Applying that to these markets, these applications where you have essentially in a fuel cell system, you have a charge air system, so you need to cool that air. You then have the fuel cell stack that's got to be actively cooled by water coolant loops. So all those kind of active coolant systems, our technology can enable that cooling to happen without adding too much mass and too much drag to the aircraft, which is absolutely key to the commercial viability of those systems to go into market.
Yeah, I suppose you want to keep performance at optimum levels, really, don't you? Now, collaboration, that's a word you mentioned just a few moments ago. It's good to see here in Paris there's a lot of collaboration going on, but it's one of these sort of words we've bandied the word collaboration around for years and years and years. How important is it when we move towards this target, this jet zero, this true net zero target of 2050?
Well, I think it's essential. I think collaboration is a really key ingredient to actually get to success. And that's not just national collaboration, that could be international. So Reaction Engines is in a really fortunate position actually with the backing we've got, the relationships we have. So we have strategic partners with the likes of Boeing, Rolls-Royce, BAE Systems, but we also have more kind of tactical relationships with the likes of Cranfield Aerospace Solutions, where we're helping them on the Fresson program to deliver zero-emission Britain-Norman aircraft conversions, and people like Honeywell, where we have agreements to kind of work with them and help bring our technology to their system-level offering to enable some of the technical changes we're going to need.
There's not a huge amount of pushback, I don't think, on this target, this net zero target, but forgetting that there's not a lot of pushback, there's a lot of crossroads to overcome and to work out, do we go left, straight on, or right at the crossroads? And are you finding that the challenge is an exciting challenge, or are you finding it a frustrating challenge?
I think firstly it's an exciting challenge. I think most of the challenges we're seeing are technical challenges, which for engineers it's very exciting. It's really good to be able to play a part in some of these challenges that are facing basically the whole world. There will inevitably be other challenges that might be a bit more frustrating, and we'll rely on governments and other bodies kind of helping out and being able to facilitate the environment so that companies can work together collaboratively and actually take the technology through to fruition.
Exciting time to be alive. Thanks very much indeed. Thanks for chatting to us, and thanks for coming to Paris.
Thank you.